Welcome to Owl About Games, a podcast where we talk about all different aspects of board games, from design to mechanics to board game news, including updates and information for games from Open Owl Studios. I'm your host, Natalie, and I'm joined by Brendan. So sit back, relax, and let's talk Owl About Games. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Owl About Games. I'm Natalie, and I'm here with Brendan.
Hello.
And first in November. So I guess I forgot it was Halloween, even though everyone was telling me costumes yesterday. So got scared by children at the door. But it's been a pretty active week for the people at Open Owl Studios.
Yeah, we've been busy.
Yeah, we just got back from our annual retreat this week, but what we'll be doing today is going over a little bit more of our game line updates, because we had a whirlwind of them going out this week after our retreat, and then get into more of our BGA community stuff and a little bit of our retreat. So Brendan, if you wanted to start off with some of our game line updates, maybe Mythwind.
Yeah, sure, absolutely. Yeah, so we've been working with the factors closely, and just had a lot of kind of important updates I wanted us to get out, just because we had kind of solidified some things with the factories for and our partners for our project. So Mythwind. Nathan posted an update yesterday. He shared a photo, which is kind of funny. I think he had an upside down board in Mythwind for the friends and family tray. But so that's really good. Everything has. I actually just got confirmation. We made our. So when you do manufacturing with factory in China, you pay 50% when they kind of initiate manufacturing, and then 50% upon completion. And before that, you're paying for mold cost and a bunch of other stuff. So, anyways, we just finished our kind of 50% initiation, which means that they have officially entered mass production, and they're scheduled to finish that by the end of the year. Exactly, yeah, very exciting. By the end of the year for a majority of components. The one component that might take a little bit longer is the dice tower, and that will, I think, be wrapped up January 10th. They said. And then the plan, they'll package everything and get it. Ideally, we have it on a boat before Chinese New Year, which is at the end of January. And then, we have roughly like depends on the region. We're shipping into the West Coast of the States this year, so it's going to be quicker. Usually we've gone to Georgia for the past couple campaigns, which means going through, what is that strait? Going through the canal. Is it the Panama Canal? I think it's the Panama Canal.
Yeah. I mean, that sounds right. We'll take it.
Yeah. And that always takes a while, but we're going right into LA this year. And so, the fastest turnaround from a boat from China to LA is like 21 days. That is like the quickest turnaround. And, with loading and load off. There's a possibility that we start shipping out games in March for shipping out to the American pledges in March for Mythwind. I think Canadians will be a little bit behind because we got to ship into Vancouver. Then we truck it out. Actually, we train it out to Toronto and then fulfill from there. Asia region will be pretty quick. Typically, Europe is around the same time as Canada, so that's probably around April. So yeah, that's very exciting. Really stoked about that. Nathan and the team have done a good job on it, and I think I was going through some of the components last week, just like the rules reference cards that we've added to the game. They're just like surprisingly helpful, especially for people who like
play grade helpful. Who would have known?
Yeah, and for people who like to multi-hand, it's nice too, because that's actually one of the hard things with Mythwind. You have different kind of stages of each of the characters, and so so that's nice, and it'll help kind of learning the game and everything. So they're going to be packaged for everyone who bought the revised rules. That they'll have those in it, but for everyone who purchased the new game, those will be just packaged in the game. So that's exciting.
Yep.
I
And
don't
that
know if
dice
we.
tower looks pretty nice, like because we got to see them.
Oh my gosh,
Some
the
of the
dice tower is
components in
incredible.
person. Yeah, it's like a massive statement that you'd have on the board for that one.
It is.
So
It is a really cool dice tower. I
yeah,
actually think we undercharged for it from
like yeah,
what I see. I don't know what did we charge on it. I think we're selling it for like 35 bucks. I'm pulling it up here.
like it's like a big
Yeah, $35. I think honestly, I don't know. We'll probably keep it at 35 bucks in the future, but it's like you could easily.
like
It's
it's solid too.
good. It's so good.
Yeah,
And so it's really, yeah, it's great. I think it's like hips plastic, which is like really strong, sturdy stuff.
yeah,
You'll be able to use it for all your games. We've made sure that D20s can even roll in it. So if you want to take it to your
yeah,
D&D sesh, you totally can. So yeah, that's really exciting. Happy that's coming out. Kind of a fun thing for us on our kind of path of kind of getting a little bit more efficient on this back end. Our estimated delivery date was February for the Mythwind reprint, and this will actually, we will hit that in certain regions, which is kind of fun. So like Asia, will start delivering in February. There's an off chance, like a small chance that that US could deliver in February too, but that's most likely March. So yeah, that's Mythwind. Really exciting.
yay! Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I also I say with the board upside down thing, since the updates came out on Halloween, they're just like the little trick or treat is Easter egg that it was upside down. But I really like
There
the
you go.
way it looked in person, like the board and the characters and stuff. I'm excited for it. I mean, I'm excited for all our games, but
Yeah, I'm excited to buy my nephew's the coloring book. So that'll be
oh yeah.
that'll be fun. Yeah, I'm gonna ship them some coloring books for. I guess that'll be for next Christmas, or maybe I'll just send them sometime next year.
Yeah. Ooh. Oh, Steve wrote here. Hold on. Let's see. Looking forward to seeing the new additions to Mythwind. I've put it on hold until the new content delivers.
Cool. Yeah,
yeah.
I think a lot of people have. The character interactions are a fun addition, especially if you're playing with someone. Yeah, I like that you can go to the farmer, purchase crops that they have grown, and use those as like buffs for your
Yeah.
character. Get an extra action, or do something fun with it. It's pretty neat, and that's like one character interaction of many.
Yep. So let's try the next one for Stars of Akarios 1.5.
Stars 1.5. Okay, hey, actually, 1 second. So this is the last component.
Oh,
This is the last component that I had to approve from the factory. And so they shipped me this. We kind of went back and forth. I don't know if I have the first ones, but we went back and forth. One of the have you ever played, Natalie? Have you ever played Jaws of Line?
yep.
Yeah, so Jaws, like, we're doing kind of a similar thing with Jaws of Line, where it's like,
Yeah.
you pull out, you have the map, and it's really sweet. So basically, this is like the
I
same,
like that a lot.
yeah, it's the same width of map as okay, sorry, for those of you who don't know, this is for the Battles of Akarios expansion, which is basically one-off battles, no campaign involved. Really neat. We have included in a battle book that has 21, sorry, it's 20 or 21 scenarios.
Yep.
And, just like really neat. Here's the small trade-off. So for those of you who want to like use this as a setup map and use your neoprene board, or your neoprene mat, or your like this board that came with stars, you absolutely can. Yep. Right? You can use this as a setup map. And it's the same width. It's just a little bit shorter on the top. But for those who just want to like open this up and play, you absolutely can. And like the only trade-off with this is the center is the center hexes, right?
Yeah.
There's no and there's no way around this. But this is what we kind of went back and forth with the factory. So in order to get the best like lay where both sides line up, you have to do this. I don't even know what it is, but
Spiral
it's a different type of
thing.
spiral bound. It's like
Yeah.
it's a dual thing, and so it lines up really nicely when you fold it. So you see that it's like you can't even tell that
Yeah.
it's not lining up.
Yeah.
And then okay, so you the like it's if you have minis on it, they can still work on it. Obviously, in the middle section, there's one hex that is affected as far as like the bubbling, like right, it's kind of sloped, but it's still is like good to go on, right? So this is like it's one of those things where there had to be a small trade-off, but I think with this battle book, it was the right one. And there's a cool selection of scenarios. There's some like classic, just kill all enemies. There is there's scenarios like where it's like eliminate all enemies, but there's like a wormhole in the middle, and it sucks everyone in at the end of each turn. So just kind of add some fun stuff, or like escort the sparrow across the map. Do a bunch of different things. One of my favorite scenarios, I think, is it's 21. Oh, sorry, it's 20. It's just called Survive, which is fun, and it's like an empty map. And basically, the special rules is that at the start of the mission, shuffle all enemy cards together. And then what you do is at the start of each round, draw one regular enemy card per player and spawn these ships at the scenario marker furthest from the player. So basically, you're just spawning ships every round, and you're seeing how long you can last. And it's kind of fun. So, anyways, this is approved. Excited about that. And what that means is we actually started manufacturing a little bit ago. The factory E-Star is the one manufacturing Stars. They already received their 50% payment, and they have started. Their timeline is basically lined up with Longpack and Mythwind. So they're planning on finishing everything for Stars by the end of this year, 2024. And we'll be on a boat ideally mid-January. So like really exciting. It's fun to kind of get that off and fulfilling in February, March, April. So a couple months delayed, but not too crazy. And someone asked yesterday, I think in Discord, hey, why the delay? And the biggest reason is we brought in a towards not the end, but kind of towards the end of our development. We were about to kind of send files off to the printer, but we decided to bring in a technical editor to go through our game components. And so we did that just to kind of give it another polish. It's still such a big game. There's so many scenarios. I won't say it's 100% without errors, because I think it's impossible for something like this big. You need multiple patches over multiple years. But I think there's a significant improvement. It's good direction. The Galaxy Atlas is a neat addition. So really excited. That one is wrapping. It's getting close to the end. So yeah.
Yep. And Saturday mentioned Battle Book is an awesome idea for combat scenarios that didn't make the cut in the main story. Nice.
Yeah. It's just like it's a different way of playing Stars, right? It's a way to, if you have a game night and you just want some cooperative kind of space battling action, you can absolutely do that here. Each game, depending on your player count, but it's like 30 to 60 minutes. So pretty easy just to table it and have a good time.
Yeah, just gives a bit more variety, I think. It's like you have campaign mode and you have like one-shot scenario modes, right?
Yeah,
so
exactly.
That's interesting. So next up we have Stonesaga.
Yeah, Stonesaga. So Stonesaga, big update yesterday. This is the one that we've been we wanted to make sure where we were at before updating. So kind of the Coles note is we talked about the delay as far as our status, and then we talked about how the language edition is being manufactured after the English edition. This is one of those things that we wanted to avoid, but I mentioned in the update there's 180,000 words in
Yeah.
Stonesaga and the expansions, which is a wild amount of text. There are in the core box alone, there's 40 challenges. Each time you play a game, it's a challenge. Each challenge is like 90 to 90 minutes, so hour and a half to like 2.5 hours. Like that's like a challenge.
Yeah.
So just think about that. That's 2 times 40 is 80 hours of content. If you were to see everything, which that is nuts in a single playthrough. I think I'm trying to remember what I think it's around 10 to 14 challenges is what you will typically see on a single playthrough. That's kind of from the first act or first epoch to the last, to the third epoch. And so but just based off of how the challenges are kind of branching, there's a lot of things. There's a lot of interesting stuff to experience. There are so many kind of like mysteries and surprises. Like I won't spoil it. I won't spoil anything, but like you can do one of the activities in the game, and because you do the activity, you will unlock like an entire different region of the game to explore. And it's like some people might not ever do that, which is like a really interesting thing. It's like we're there's a lot of content where it's like where you're kind of like split. I don't know. It's cool. So Stonesaga, just as a little recap for those who maybe didn't get the update, we are in the final stages. We finished all the tech editing. The game, everything except the rule book and codex is like completely laid out, and just going through the last round of revisions. The rule book is finished. Taryn is laying that out currently, and the codex is getting laid out also by Sam, our other graphic designer. And so our plan is to have all of that wrapped up, ready for studio review in December. And then as soon as studio review is finished, we will then send the files to the printer, and then the printer will just begin the process. While this is all happening, though, like I'm supposed to be receiving a white sample, I think next week, of the core box with its trays, a bunch of kind of fun stuff there, and then we'll be shipping when it's finished. I think what we put out online was hopefully a conservative estimate. I say conservative because it's no longer me who's making these timelines. So I'm always optimistic, and but yeah, so we have our fulfillment start in July, August. That is the hope. And assuming there's some buffer room in our timeline until then, but ideally everyone has a really fun game to play for next fall and Christmas, and we'll see a lot of fun Stonesaga stories.
Yeah, because I mean, Stonesaga, it's like you've got all the text and all the word and all the narrative stuff that you've got written in the book, but it's not just that like other campaign games. It's got like a whole bunch of different mechanics, a whole bunch of different like side games that all have to connect, and then with the story and everything. So it's like a big epic project that like I haven't seen in a board game before. So
yeah, it really is something. Yeah, Zomer Germain, right? Sad for the delay, but still super excited for Stonesaga. It's really going to add something new to the collection that hasn't been done before. Yeah. We agree. we agree. We think it's great.
Yeah. And then I think the last one we have is Storyfold Wildwoods to go over. So
yeah, Storyfold. Wow. Campaign is coming up quick, November 12th.
Yeah, so 11 days.
It's 11 days away. We are we're just kind of we're going through the final bits of the, you know what? Here, let me just do this. I'm gonna share my screen. We'll give people a little bit of a sneak peek.
Oh,
Okay.
oh, wow.
Yeah, I don't. Natalie, have you even seen this?
No.
So this is some of this
Sneak
stuff
peek
is
for all of us.
some of this is subject to change. The if you snuck a pledge, it the pledge wasn't correct. But anyway, so this is like
Yep.
kind of our thing. We have a lot of fun gifts. Just to kind of give you a quick overview. I'm still so proud of the fact that people can learn to play the game without a rule book. That's such a
Yeah.
neat thing. I'm
Like
just
a
gonna
lot of
skip.
people say you can do it, but not everyone can actually do it
Yeah,
and do it
like
well.
for us, sorry, I'm gonna skip through some of this stuff because some of this is not correct, but we'll go down here to the how to play.
It's a sneak peek, guys. So
Yeah, it's a sneak peek. Some of the stuff is still changing. So like a fun fact, none of our play testers up until this point, or any of the content creators who have, did I call them contenters? Maybe
yeah, I was like, way to short
that's a
form it.
that's a fun word. Hey, contenter. So no playtester or content creator has actually learned the game with a rule book. They've all played it with the prologue, which is kind of a teaching prologue, and it gets everyone situated to the game. And then there's some reference cards to use. Really slick. It works great. We've heard nothing but good feedback for it. And yes, it's exciting, right? Even like this how to play section, you choose these action cards in the Luma phase, and you roll dice, and you're checking. It's a little bit of the Arc Nova,
the river mechanic that they have
river
with their
mechanic.
cards.
Yeah, exactly.
But I think with an added bit of complexity there.
Yeah, and where it's like the the card to the furthest left is the easiest to get successes, but then everything kind of slides out, which is really cool.
Yeah.
You can heal or light creatures. This is great. Like, look at that.
Wow, these animations are wild.
Yeah, this is
First
Nicholas.
time I saw it, so
This is our
no
3D.
way.
Yeah, 3D modeler. He just learned how to do this last month, and this is this is what we get. Which is really cool. You get a lot of fun stuff. There's something we haven't actually shown yet here, which is what haven't we shown? There's the come on. Oh yeah, we have like a tray. We have like a save state tray for this game.
Yeah. Okay.
And we're just kind of finalizing a mock-up right now. Well, it's basically a finished tray, but we're finalizing with Bryce Black Magic inserts. And yep, I'm gonna stop sharing now because I think I'm getting to some. Oh, but this is a real quote that Mike from.
This is a real quote.
Yeah, some of these are like placeholder quotes, but this is a real quote. I think Mike shared this on a podcast with Steve from Co-op Guild when they were talking about Storyfold. Where Mike was just talking about the mechanics of the game, and he mentioned that even if they took away the narrative, I would still love it because of the resource choices and tension. Which I think is a testament just to how good a game that Shord, the designer, has created. Which also kind of plays into our kind of replayability challenge cards, where once you finish the game, you restart from the beginning and have these kind of added challenges, and we'll see if anyone does like the full Uber challenge once they get it. But I think it's real neat. So.
Yeah, because I mean, things will still change as you're playing the game. So you could play like chapter one time, but the order of things coming out onto the board and like moving your cards around, like it can still be different just based off of that, not even going into like the news stuff that you'll get through a playthrough, right? So
exactly. And then there's some, there's a little bit of like branching stuff, not a crazy amount, but there are some things that you do on sometimes. There's a couple different endings in various situations, but really excited about it.
So let's see what else has in chat. Zomer Droman said again, just out of curiosity, will Storyfold come out in Dutch as well, since it's by a Dutch designer? I'd get the English version myself, but it would be interesting for friends in Dutch.
I know there is a Dutch publisher who's interested and who we're in conversations with. We have currently secured a lot of languages. I'm trying to remember which ones. I think it's around 6 languages that we have announced.
Yeah. We
Which is
just
quite.
announced them the other day, I think. So
Yeah, we announced a lot of them the other day. Yeah, so there's like here. Let me just pull it up. But we have German, we have Italian. Wow, I don't want to like misspeak here. And some of these are like some of these are like still
Spanish.
like to be signed. Yeah, German,
Yeah,
Spanish,
Spanish.
Portuguese, Hungarian, Czech. Did we announce anything else?
That's the ones that I think we announced so far.
Okay, I have a full list. We're in talks with a lot of other
Yeah.
languages. Usually a lot of these languages don't join the campaign until after or until after we launch. So the fact that we're kind of going to the campaign with quite a few is fantastic.
Yep. All right, so that's our game line updates. A couple other points from Open Owl Studios is we completed our first Board Game Arena community tournament. So if you don't already know, Open Owl Studios has a community on BGA. We're just over 100 members now. And our first community tournament was Harmonies, and that was set for October. It just finished, and our winner was Pavnik, who that's their handle on BGA, and on our Discord it's Jess Cole. So they have already messaged, and we've got their 4 picks for our voting for the December tournament. But right now we are registering for our November tournament, which is Wingspan. So all you need to do is just have a Board Game Arena account, free or paid, it doesn't matter, and join our community group. And then you can click this link here and it'll bring you to our tournament. So we've just had it live for a couple days. We already have 12 folks. The last time was just around 25 people in our tournament. If you win, you get to pick the next 4 games for our next month of tournaments. And obviously you get a little shout out, which is always fun. It's just the beginning of doing these, so we can see what else we'll have going for these. Plus, people in the community now just pick a game and do like a one-shot game on BGA and use our voice channels. So I'll put those links in the description after the video. If it's not already there, it should be there, but I'll see after. But yeah, so that's fun. I lost in the tournament in the first round, so that's always fun. And we had some of our team in that tournament as well. We had Kevin, I think, also was in there, but might have lost in the first round.
Hey, here's a question: Do we want to give the winner like a shirt, like an Open Owl shirt or something?
Well, yeah, I wasn't sure how to do our tournaments and stuff, but I mean, yeah, we can always send a little promo
I think
pack or something.
the big asterisk is I think we could only fulfill at least our merch. We can only fulfill that in North America. Those guys don't ship overseas. So yeah, okay, but yeah, think about it. But like,
since it's worldwide.
Yeah, totally.
We'll figure it out. We'll figure out some neat way to congratulate people past just letting you pick what games we want to play.
Right, love it.
And then the last thing, so the whole team went to Kelowna this past week. So mostly just a few slides of being in Kelowna. So this is where Brendan and a majority of the studio is, and then a few of us from all over North America.
It's not a majority.
Really?
I think we're
not anymore.
No, there's only like 4 of us here.
Oh yeah, I always count
4 of 8
Victoria as part 12. Of yeah,
it's close but not.
Yeah, so we were in Kelowna and we all got to stay together. We did Brennan and the team organized itinerary for us, so obviously we worked and then we got to play. So we got to go on a hike. I think this was Paul's tomb that you took us
Knox.
on.
Yeah, Knox Mountain. We just went to like the first lookout of Knox,
Yeah.
but yeah.
And then yeah, on the water. Like, it was beautiful days. I wasn't expecting that. I thought it was going to be a lot colder and like a lot cloudier.
Yeah, it was nice.
We got to try out the game The Gang, which I really liked. I will say that it's a cooperative poker game, and instead of trying to bet against each other, you're trying to not communicate exactly what you have, but order your hands from weakest to strongest without communication. So kind of like The Crew. So we weren't doing so well, and then Sam, one of our art graphic designers, came down and isn't as familiar in board games as some of us, but as soon as they came down, we started winning. And it was like, oh, okay. And then we also played a round of Phantom Ink, which was really neat. It's kind of like a Mysterium and code names. So there's two teams, there's two ghosts who have a clue word, and the two teams are trying to write down, give us cards to answer, and we write down a one-word clue in order for them to try to figure out what we're trying to communicate to our team. So it was really fun for that one. And then we went for a couple wineries that we got to visit, because other than hiking around Kelowna, the Okanagan is known for a whole bunch of wine and winemaking. So then after that, I think this was Mount Bouchard or something.
Boucherie.
Yeah, there you go.
Close.
Yeah, I know French as a Canadian. And then the team. So the team of us got to get at least one big picture in at one of the vineyards or tour places or whatever.
Yeah, no, it was great. It's great to be together, right? It's one thing being a remote company, and then just another thing when you kind of get together, get the sense of someone else when you're not just on a Zoom call. And
Yeah.
typically like Zoom calls, it's like work and meetings and stuff, right? So it was really, really great to hang out, eat a lot of food, chat, had a fun couple brainstorm sessions. It was good, lots of fun.
Yeah. And then, we just finished our wine tour. There's Brendan.
Nice, classic.
Yeah. And then, that was the end of it, I believe. Yeah, that was. It was just a fun trip. I mostly didn't take pictures of people, but
Okay.
I was like, I'm not sure how the team feels about that. So we got one good one in, so that's what counted, right?
Yeah, that's great. It's good.
Um,
Good. Can I share? Unless there's anything else, can I share about what the next podcast is going to be?
Yep, exactly.
Cool.
That's where we're at anyways.
Okay, great. What's the date of the next podcast?
I think it's actually
December.
That's not my calendar.
6th.
I think it's
December
6th.
Yeah. So fun little thing here on December 6th. I don't know if did we
or wait, do we want to have it the second Friday of December, since December 6th is also the end of
no, that's perfect.
The campaign.
December 6th is perfect.
Okay.
It can be end of Storyfold campaign, plus I will have a chat with Chris Rowlands from Tempest Workshop. Did we talk about the Tempest Workshop announcement? I think we announced that in between.
It came out, but we didn't announce anything on it. So I had it on the list from last time, but didn't happen.
Yeah, okay, that's real fun. So maybe we won't talk about the Tempest Workshop announcement in this conversation. We'll wait till Chris comes in. For those of you who are unaware, there's a company, Prospero Hall, that made a lot of games, like Disney Villainous, Jaws. I'm blanking, but they have a lot of games. And their company got bought out by Funko Games, I believe. This was like a year ago. And then this whole development team, ended up like Funko ended up or Goliath, bought Funko Games, but they ended up laying off this entire team, and a group of those people end up forming this new studio called Tempest Workshop, and Chris Rowlands is a member of the studio, the head of that studio, and I was in conversations with him last year or earlier this year, pardon me, and we started talking about, hey, what would it look like for Tempest to stretch their legs and make a game that could only be made through crowdfunding. And for me, this is really fun because these are a really talented set of designers and artists and storytellers. And because of the games that they have made in the past, they've been, kind of like retail focused, very specific set of constraints. By like partnering with us, they're kind of like unlocking, they're going Super Saiyan mode, I'll say, and they're really kind of leaning into a cool design. We're not going to talk about the game until next year when we have a little bit more to discuss. But the partnership is really cool because we're funding development of their game, and for us, our mission is to create super innovative games and to have a community like you to experience them together, and this fits perfectly in that because these guys are creating something that's super unique, super special, something that hasn't been done in the tabletop space, and it's going to be it's real fun. And so we'll have a conversation. I'll have a conversation with Chris next month. Natalie, I think you're at PAX West.
Yeah, I'm at PAX.
So you're
if people are there, I'll be there.
Yeah, that's great. Yes, and if you're curious to learn more about the partnership, Jamie Stegmeyer from Stonemeyer Games posted a article on his blog, or you can go to the Open Owl website and see our announcement there.
Yep. Yay. I mean, always exciting things. We always get to this month point and I'm like, oh, not as much happened. And then we go through our review and I'm like, lots happens like all the time.
Always. Yeah.
Yeah. So thanks everybody for hanging out with us, and we'll see. Well, Brendan, we'll see you next month for that chat. And we hope you have a good weekend. Maybe you're still doing Halloween stuff. Who knows? I don't know. Is it kind of weird to do Halloween stuff after Halloween?
I don't know.
All right. So anyways, we'll see you guys next time.
Take care.
Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Owl About Games, a board game podcast brought to you by Open Owl Studios. You can catch us on the first Friday of every month. I've been your host, Natalie, and I'm co-hosted by Brendan, and that's a wrap on this episode. See you next month.